We are going to watch how leftist empathy is destroying the West. Yippee! By one, Mr. Remnant 777. I have a solution for it, but we would be arrested. My thing is just don't let women vote. Because women are the most susceptible to like this suicidal empathy.
Well, as a young man, you're filled up with tons of testosterone.
How's that?
That
Exactly.
can cause you to easily break the things around you that are valuable, or even hurt the people that are close to you. That's why emotional control is one of the first things you're taught as a young man. You're taught the dangers of violence and how to control
We're
it.
taught that it's all evil. Yes, nowadays, but like back in the day. It wasn't before. No, we're taught all evil. It's all evil. It's bad. It's evil. All anger is always bad. Nah, there's some anger that's like righteous. Some that is good. Like if you get angry that like somebody like hit your daughter with a car, that's probably, you know.
However, if we take that same action being forced and use it against a criminal, that's a good thing. In that instance, you could even refer to it as positive masculinity.
Positive
it's beneficial to society as a whole.
Nobody refers to anything as positive masculinity anymore. The entirety of masculinity has been demonized. And we are worse off for it.
Women do have higher levels of agreeableness overall, which is linked to emotions such as empathy and sympathy. Emotions that are rarely referenced in a negative way.
You never see them being referred to as like, she has so much empathy. She has so much sympathy for this dude. Like, no. Like, those words are like inherently kind of like positive. But the actual action is not always a good thing. Not even police doing their job, that's bad. Yeah, some people who are off their rockers to begin with. The police bad because I don't like getting caught doing what I'm doing. Police bad because I want to smoke crack.
You need to control your emotions. You need to cut down your empathy. Never. You don't hear anybody say that. You certainly don't hear your parents teaching that to young.
I mean, it wouldn't be direct. You need to control your emotions. You need to stop empathizing with everyone. You wouldn't say it like that, but like, hey, don't set yourself on fire to keep others warm, that kind of deal. Even then, that's more rare than like, hey, stop being mad, stop being angry. Well, thank you for the hydrate.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
Good soup. I ran out of drink already. I'm so screwed. This might be a good. This looks like a really interesting video. That's the one dude that like shot the ICE agents, and that's the girl who tried to run one over.
Others played unfairly, returning fewer points than they were given. Participants were also told that their partners might receive either a
so this is the game one that I was talking about earlier. Oh, so it was like a point thing. So it wasn't like a video game. It was like we're good, give money, get money, follow for follow type deal. Women need to control empathy they feel for everyone. Exactly.
and the perception of others' pain compared to when fair players were shocked. In women, however, there was no significant reduction. In other words, men's empathetic.
They felt the same amount of empathy for someone who got shocked who was innocent and someone who got shocked who was guilty. This should be like damning evidence towards women that they should never be allowed to work in the justice system, like literally ever. That should just be a job you are not allowed to have. Because what do you mean you feel the same amount of empathy for someone who is cheating the system, who is actively doing something wrong? Like, oh no, this this punk jerk is getting what he deserves. Oh no. Oh no. Meanwhile, is the same you treat everyone like they're innocent. You can't do that in the justice system. You can't. That's why women vote to get like violent criminals out of the prison systems and into the streets. And like, I feel so unsafe at night. Of course you do. Of course you do. You let all the violent criminals go free. You voted for this. What do you mean? What happened to my city? You made it worse actively. Ay, ay, ay.
And then she goes into amazingly autistic detail about how when you
Amazingly
empathize with a
autistic
person
detail.
and you feel as if they're wronged or victimized, there's a part of you that seeks vengeance for that person, even though the quote-unquote victims in many cases are literal violent criminals.
Right. A lack of justice to the guilty is violence against the innocent. It is just straight up. You don't actually care about the victims of these crimes if you are willing to let the criminals go. Like, somebody stabs you to death and they're just let off with a slap on the wrist. Do you feel like that'd be fair? Do you feel like that'd be fair? I don't think that'd be fair. Empathy needs to be tempered by justice, lest it become harmful to the innocent. Exactly.
While according to the left, they see themselves as protecting victims. And what it boils down to really at the end of the day is a matter of perspective and emotion.
Like, honestly, as a woman, the person who cries the most visibly, the loudest, the person who does that the most is the person who gets justice. Like, that's the person. It doesn't matter if they're guilty or innocent. If they're the one crying the loudest, then they get served first. Like, it's kind of mom brain type of deal. Like, the kid that screams loudest is the kid that's hurt the most, right? But that's not how adults work. Like, they can just fake it. Like, oh, I'm so sad. I have to go over the border where all my people are, and I can't sell drugs in America. Like, that type of deal. And if they cry the loudest on national television, you'll get a wave of women who will just forego logic and be like, oh, they're crying. Let's burn the Constitution. No rules for anybody because rules make people cry. To be fair, children fake it too. It's just universal. Children fake it too, but like, it's not as detrimental most of the time.
This kind of love and empathy has a place in our society, which is towards your children. Your children will mess up. They do need a source of unconditional love in life.
Right. Even if your kid is wrong, if your kid does something like objectively wrong as a child, they still need that love, like unconditional love. And that's what that kind of empathy is for. But if you can't control it and you extend that empathy to literally everyone, even the person like trying to burn down your village and pillage your home, that's no good. You can't do that. It'll actually just get you killed and everyone you love killed.
I'm sorry, but the government should not become a mother that ends up loving their criminal children unconditionally. No.
Yeah.
Instead, what we should...
Loving your kid unconditionally to the point where they go out and hurt other people, you just do nothing about it? No. The government cannot be a loving mother to everybody, and it's wild.
All I'm doing is taking this information and interpreting it through the lens of my own values. Maybe I'm just wrong. Maybe...
Wait, was he actually found incapable of standing in court? Is that true? Found incapable of proceeding to trial. That's the guy who stabbed the woman and then... Was he like found crazy? They're like, oh, he's too crazy to go to court. Lock him up. Lock him up then. If he can't go to court legally because he's too crazy, then he's too crazy to be on the streets. Put him in a mental institution. He was let out of prison. Was he actually? Not found crazy, just stupid. 30 plus prior conviction. Is he actually on the streets? Too low intelligence. So a brother had like a 30 IQ. That same ward said he's not insane and let him go. Is he actually on the streets? He was let out. What does this world come to? Have we lost our minds? By a female judge, he's out on the streets. He stabbed someone to death for no reason. And he's got 30 plus other convictions. I would put all of my money on him committing crimes again. Literally every last dollar. And I would become a millionaire. That judge should be jailed immediately? Yes. I am a firm believer that if you are a judge and you let somebody out and they commit again of the same caliber of crime or worse, you should be convicted as well as them. Like, you should get the same punishment. You are in alliance with that person. If you hadn't done that, they wouldn't have been able to do that.
If you have any of those thoughts or objections, that's good, because for you, I do have irrefutable evidence that this is objectively what is happening, that your emotions such as empathy can be hijacked and weaponized against the wrong people. None of this is simply a matter of perspective, because
for some people, people don't like listening to that. They don't like being told that, hey, you can feel empathy for the wrong person, but they'll be the first to tell you about like Hitler in Germany in the 1940s. Like, you think that all those people were genuinely just like, oh, this seems like a good idea for no reason? They had empathy towards the wrong people at the wrong time, and bad things happened. They'll be the first to tell you about that incident and be completely unaware of all the other instances in history, and they can't relate it to their own situations. Other than the people that I don't like are literal Nazis and I can do whatever I want to them.
Norns didn't have pre-programmed behaviors.
Norns?
Instead, they relied on a punishment and reward system. If you wanted to encourage a behavior, you would tickle your creature, or to discourage it, you would slap them. From this, you could even breed special types of norms that
Animal abuse, the game. Coming to an arcade near you, where you can just slap animals.
had behaviors passed down to them.
Hassan Piker Simulator.
And this sparked their own communities at the time. And given that you could also share your norms with a file, communities online started to form around this game. And they fell in love with these AI Norns. So much to the point that there were even adult men crying when their favorite Norn...
Sedge beer. It's not uncommon for younger breeders to burst into tears when their first Norns die. I even got an email from a fully grown man who admitted he cried when his favorite Norn died. They're like really ugly too. Like these are not cute creatures. They're just
to something that again,
they got bug eyes. They got big old bug eyes.
Isn't real. These people were so dedicated that they created their own
Tides of Albia. Welcome to Tides of Albia. This page is decanted to the game Creatures, a game where you raise, teach, and learn from cute little critters called Norns. If you have no idea what Creatures is, turn back now. Also, this page is Han HQ, a place designed to help abused and neglected Norns. How do you help a neglected AI thing? What do you mean?
Because not everybody loved these little creatures known as Norns. No, some of them...
Oh yeah, there were definitely people who like... they got the equivalent of an ant and a magnifying glass and went, bet.
actively terrorize them. Some would even purposely breed and train
Choir bat, won't lie. I did cry when my Norn died. I thought it, though I was like 7, didn't know the Norn rabbit hole went this deep.
Self-destructive behaviors in these Norns. They would literally traumatize the AI to the point that it couldn't sleep or eat, and it would eventually die. And the Norn lovers...
Wait, you could do that? They did that? They programmed that in? Like, you're just able to torture these little creatures until they can't eat or sleep and they just die? I mean, they're ugly, but I would do that to them. Simulation games be wild, that's true.
Would hate this. And the Norns, as they would call themselves,
they don't exist.
ended up creating their own community called Tortured Norns, where they would...
Tortured Norns? 1999. Welcome to Tortured Norns.
Actively share their Norns and talk about how they hate them so much.
That's hilarious.
Now let me ask you, how do you think the group of people who called themselves very loving and empathetic reacted to this?
They 100% sent death threats. 100%. Kind of like Nintendogs for the DS, but like, yeah, that, but worse. I remember this game. I actually think I had Creatures too. Oh, there was a second one?
A, ignore them. Or did they B, report this website to try and get it taken down?
They reported it in and sent them death threats.
C, sending a to their house.
A pipe bomb? An actual pipe bomb. You what? Okay, that was even worse than I expected. I was just like, oh, they're gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna kill you in Minecraft. No, it was legitimately, I'm sending a bomb to your house. What?
You would be correct. That's what they did. The community that saw themselves as extremely loving, caring, and empathetic.
We're so empathetic that we're gonna send a pipe bomb to your house because you tortured a poor, innocent, not real AI. You what?
Sent death threats to real people over them hurting fictional characters that couldn't feel any pain. Again,
they hurt real people. They tried to hurt real people because they fictionally hurt fictional characters. Your emotions can legitimately just get hijacked. You can get psyoped. If a game company in the 90s was able to hijack people's emotions this much, what do you think the government is doing now with the technology we have today? What do you think they're doing? Because we have tools at home that we can basically fabricate anything, right? We have AI, we have all that good stuff. You know the government has stuff that's even better than that, like tucked away. So what are the materials that they're kind of making up to make people feel this way enough to go out and hurt other people, like real life people? Makes you wonder.
I mean, look at Arthur Doyle. He originally killed off Sherlock Holmes at one point, but because he received so many angry letters and threats, he was forced to bring back Sherlock Holmes from the dead. And it happens all the time with authors, especially when they kill off fictional characters that are extremely loved by
authors. They kill off a character in the book and people will like send stuff to their house. I didn't even think about that one. Like, I wonder how many threats like J.K. Rowling has gotten outside of like, you know, in the political stuff. Aside from that, like how much she has gotten just from like, oh, she killed off Dobby. She killed Snape.
A victim to the evil author that killed them. It sounds pretty psychotic.
Yeah, the evil author killed them. J.K. Rowling personally stabbed Dobby with a knife to death. She got his sock, put a brick in it, and smashed him over the head. That's what J.K. Rowling did. I feel like people get way too obsessive over fictional characters. It's true, because nowadays you have AI. Some of you may not know, but character AI is one of like the worst things on the planet in terms of like getting people to be parasocial, because you can just make a character and talk to it all day. Like you can even have like a phone call with it, right? And it has that character's voice. Like imagine how much crazier you can be about a character if you can talk to it in real time and hear its voice. And eventually you'll be able to do like video calls and whatever, because AI is just, it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. So imagine someone who, you know, has that fanatical kind of love for a character and they fixate on it with AI, and something happens to that character in that book, show, movie, whatever. You'll have people legitimately like killing people over stuff that fictionally happens to that fictional character.
Such a strong reaction that she kept him trapped inside of her house until he rewrote the book where the character didn't die off. He eventually escapes the house, but that character, the concept, that reaction.
No, that's just an actual person that exists. There is someone out in this world who would legitimately do something like this. Probably more than one, like a concerning amount of people, if given the chance. If they had their favorite author, writer, whatever, somebody there who makes something they love, they get a sneak peek of something that happens, they don't like it, they would turn on that person immediately. Like do like heinous things to them.
Look at this homeless addict. He is on the side of the road, he has nothing in life, and he's even missing his teeth. Society looks at these people with disgust. What's wrong with you? How could you let yourself fall apart like this? But the truth is,
to be fair, of what I know, most of the homeless people out there at some point like made choices to make them homeless. Like there's a few instances where you're legitimately like down on your luck, but most of the habitually homeless people out there, they make bad choice after bad choice after bad choice after bad choice. And some of them even like, I don't want a house. I don't want to live somewhere. I like where I am. I was like, okay, we just legitimately can't help you. I bet 1 in 3 low end, they're homeless because of drugs. Yeah, a decent chunk of them don't actually want help. They want your aid. They want, you know, someone to buy them food or drugs or booze, that kind of thing. But they don't actually want a place to live. If you look at it, there's been cases where people are like, okay, here's free housing for homeless people, and they completely wreck it and destroy it so bad that they have to be back on the street again. 70% choose to be there and refuse to try turning it around. 30% had a bad run and would change it given a hand rather than a hand out. Exactly. Most people who are on the street are on the street for a reason. Not saying there aren't people who are legitimately down on their luck, and yes, we should help those people, but it's hard to decipher which is which a lot of the time. But, you know, it's a complex topic, but...
Do you think that these people consciously decided and knew that their lives would turn out this way? Do you think that there's anybody that wakes up in the morning and says, I want to become a homeless addict who has...
There's probably at least a couple people. There's probably at least a couple people like, oh, it'd be so cool. I don't have to answer to nobody. Like, I could do drugs all day. Like, there's gotta be somebody who's actually like that. There's gotta be, like, at least more than one. Most just don't want to take part in civilized society. Yeah, 50-year mortgages, yay. I've heard somebody say she was homeless because she didn't want the responsibility. Exactly. Like, those kinds of people, like, okay, we just can't help you. There's no point in feeding this lifestyle of yours. Because eventually you're gonna get in too deep. And I'm only gonna prolong the inevitable, right?
It is incredibly easy to fall down that exact same path. If things were just slightly different for either of you, the roles could easily be reversed. You could be the insane person who views themselves as incredibly loving, caring, and kind, while acting and committing violence against innocent people. You are not that different from them. Because if you don't understand this concept, you are...
Everybody's a couple bad choices away from destruction. That's why we need Jesus. That's exactly why we need Jesus, to keep us on the straight and narrow. See, the difference between a hobo person and a bum is that a hobo will work but won't stay in a job for long because their transient lifestyle. A bum will never try to work and will always try and search for handouts he doesn't really need. Yeah. There's a difference between a homeless person who will try and like actually work their way out, who will actually make an effort to get out, and one that will just like, give me handouts or you're a bad person. No, I'm not gonna change. What are you, stupid?
I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you all so much to the patrons who decide to support me as I make...
We actually made it through the video in a timely manner. Wow. What do you guys think? More stories of someone who offers homeless people a job instead of handouts and they straight up reject a steady income. Yeah.